Good morning. Today we're going to discuss sponsor and site identification. This program is put on by Alabama State Department of Education Child Nutrition Office SONS program. As always, Break for a Plate Summer has several resources for those sponsors who are interested in returning sponsors for SFSP. Our topics today will be state agency selection priorities for sponsors, sponsor priorities for selecting sites, selecting food service staff, ensuring site access and promotion, pre-approval requirements, and questions and answers. Now, priorities for selecting a sponsor. When sponsors are competing to serve in an area, the state agency must give priority in this order. Local school food authorities have priority first, then returning government and private nonprofit organization sponsors, new government sponsors, and then new private nonprofit sponsors. There are operating limitations to any sponsor who operates a program. According to federal regulations, sponsors may be approved for a maximum of 200 sites with a maximum total average daily of attendance of all sites of 50,000 children at all sites pending state agency approval. The state agency has the capacity to conduct reviews of at least 10% of the sponsor sites. So please be mindful when selecting your sites for this upcoming summer that the state agency has to conduct reviews of at least 10% of those particular sites. Priorities for selecting sites. It is important that sponsors, you evaluate the needs and resources of the area you would like to serve before making final plans for site operations. Mapping and other data tools can be used to locate the following: high needs, eligible areas, and then potential sites, which consist of libraries, schools, museums, and low-income housing units. Finding eligible sites. You can find eligible sites using school data or the Capacity Builder website. The link is provided. Also, find locations of areas served by schools where at least 50% of the enrolled children are eligible for free or reduced price meals. The link is provided below. When evaluating potential sites, there are several major considerations, such as the site's administrative capability, site accessibility, site meal friendliness, site activities. Also consider your volunteer base. And as always, involve the community partnerships. Be mindful when you are evaluating potential sites. We always want the actual program to be effective and to be efficient. What sponsors need to know in order to achieve successful site participation. Number one, determine the number of staff that's needed to operate that actual site program. Number two, ensure site access through promotion. We've given you several resources that can be used, such as the SFSP promotional toolkit, newsletters from previous sponsors, as well as best practices. Federal regulations require mandatory school outreach that must be actually promoted to students before the school year ended, and media promotion. Last, contact your summer meal champions, your elected officials, your tribal leaders, and your faith-based leaders, and local athletes. All of these options are just a way to ensure that your program is successful. So let's discuss pre-approval requirements. There are pre-approval requirements for new sponsors as well as new sites to existing sponsors. So if you are a new sponsor with a new site, you have a sponsor site agreement, or if you're an existing sponsor with a new site that the site does not belong to the sponsoring organization, you must submit a sponsor site agreement. And this information will be uploaded to the actual online application. You also have health and food and sanitation permits that are required, as well as an extreme weather plan. Now, pre-approval site visits, that's very important. Pre-approval site visits are needed for all new sites, as well as any sites that are new to non-congregate. So for an example, if the site participated in summer 2024 as a congregate site, but in the upcoming summer program, they will actually participate and serve meals via non-congregate, you must have a pre-approval site visit conducted. A pre-approval site visit is also needed for all new sites and problematic sites from the previous year. This slide contains an example of the sponsor site agreement as well as the pre-approval site visit form. If you are in need of these particular documents, feel free to contact any of the area specialists at sfsp@alsde.edu. Health Department considerations. Prior to submitting your application, you will need to contact your local health department to determine if the site is permitted to serve food, as well as if the site is permitted to prepare food. During the application process, the sponsor will upload documentation to the state agency using the Alabama State Department of Education form indicating that the local health department has been contacted. The next slide is an example of the actual form. If you're needing this form as well, this will be located on our online application, or you can contact one of the specialists. As always, any questions, please feel free to send your questions to sfsp@alsde.edu.